I'm Alan Cylinder.
And I'm his daughter, Chelsea Cylinder.
We're Cylinder. And today we're here to talk about City of Lies. This is a film that's been on the shelf for quite a while due to some legal problems. But they've finally been straightened out and it's in release. It stars Johnny Depp and Forest Whitaker.
Yes, and it is a true story about the investigation into the murders of Tupac and Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G. This is an investigation that has not been closed. The murder has not been solved. So it's an interesting story to tell. Johnny Depp plays the primary investigator on the case who became obsessed with the case to a point where it kind of ruined his life. And Forest Whitaker plays a journalist that's trying to get to the story years later, and so he does a one-on-one Q&A with Johnny Depp's character.
The movie plays like a docudrama, and it's pretty interesting. Johnny Depp is quite good. I'm not crazy about Forest Whitaker, mainly because his character is underwritten. It's just kind of there to propel the story and to be a springboard for Johnny Depp to actually relate to the audience what is going on in the investigation.
I completely agree with that. I thought there were a couple problems with this movie, and one of them is what you just mentioned. For most of the movie, I was wondering why the Forest Whitaker character existed. I thought it wasn't necessary. The movie's told in flashbacks because Johnny Depp is telling Forest Whitaker about the investigation that took place in the past.
Well, it's not entirely told in flashbacks.
Not entirely told in flashbacks, but I thought, why have this character? Why not just be in the time that he's actually investigating the case, rather than flashbacks and going back and forth? But by the end of the movie, you do realize the purpose of the Forest Whitaker character, but I would have liked to have that character feel significant throughout the whole movie, since he is one of the main characters. And my other problem with the movie is that the way that the story was told felt kind of clumsy to me. I was not super familiar with this case going into watching this film, and I thought the film kind of assumes that you already know a lot of the major players that are involved in the story. And if you don't, then it kind of just glosses over everything very, very quickly and goes from one thing to another very, very quickly, which was a little bit of a problem for me.
I was more familiar with the case. And it's a pretty fascinating story that may never be solved. And it's a real indictment of the LA police as well.
It is definitely a fascinating story. Definitely.
City of Lies was directed by Brad Furman. And I had an interest in this movie right from the start because it seemed like the kind of true crime story that would make for a good movie. And for me, it was interesting enough that I forgave it some of its flaws.
I would agree with that. I liked this movie overall.
This movie is currently in theaters and will ultimately be on video on demand as well. I would give this movie 3 cylinders.
I would also give this movie 3 cylinders.
City of Lies. This is Alan Cylinder.
And Chelsea Cylinder.
Saying see you at the movies.
Bye!